to the coffee Q&A. This is episode number 366. Can you believe it? 366. So today, back in the car because a lot of things going on this week for me. But we're on the way now to. Oh, if you're just joining us for the very first time, we do this coffee Q&A pretty much most Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on the channel. So come join us. Welcome to the show. If you're just joining for the very first time, if you have questions, drop them in the comments over here, which will actually show up on my screen down here. Or if you're watching on the replay, leave some comments down in. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and I will answer them in a future episode. So how's it going? We are on the way. I got some stuff to do, but I was like, it's interesting because I'll punch in coffee into Google Maps. And, I get to the point where I feel like, okay, I've seen it all. And then sometimes, like this morning, this coffee bar that I had never heard of pops up, and I was like, what? How is this possible? This is kind of in the region that I live. How is this possible? So it's another one of these coffee trailers that I just found, and I was like, it's actually very close to where I have to go next. And I was like, oh, let's go check it out. It's called Diga Coffee Bar. And when I first saw the listing, I clicked on the tab, and it came up with this website that was asking me for my address, because I guess they do delivery. And I was like, oh, is this a delivery service or is it actually a physical location? And evidently they do delivery. And I don't know. I know people get coffee delivery. I don't know why. It seems odd to me because I tend to think of coffee as being a typically hot drink, right? And so because it's a hot drink, I feel that there's a time sensitivity to enjoying the coffee. Good morning to you, Maku. And especially during the winter, the coffee has to travel. And if it travels, 15, 20 minutes, you've lost a significant portion of that heat. And your time to have a warm or hot coffee has been diminished or shortened. And I don't know, I just thought that I always find it fascinating. But I get it, if people are working, whatever, they don't want to leave their house, and they'll pay the extra fees for the delivery service, which I understand. But I just thought it was but I was concerned that they were only some kind of weird, commissary type of setup where you would just have to order it. It's like Mr. Beast, his restaurants, or his Mr. Beast burger. They're just ghost kitchens in other restaurant kitchens that make the food. You can't go there and pick it up. You have to have it delivered. So I was a little bit concerned with that, because what am I going to do? Sit around in a car for 20 minutes while we wait for someone to deliver coffee? That doesn't sound like fun. Well, then again, we're sitting in a car for 20 minutes while we drive there. So what's the difference? But it looks kind of interesting. I don't really know anything about it other than the fact that they're in a trailer. I think they're in a gas station parking lot. And yeah, I don't know. Evidently the name Diga, from what little blurb that I read about it, Diga is the name of the wife of the owner. And evidently, I think she works there too, but a husband and wife team started this trailer and called Diga. And that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge on it. I think Diga sounds to me like maybe they're Greece or Greek or Croatian or something. That kind of seems like a name that would come from that region of the world. I don't know if that's true, but we're going to find out. We're on the way. So how's everything going? Everything good? Have you guys had your coffee yet today? I always kind of wonder about coffee joints, and I always wonder about the viability of these type of operations. These little trailers. Are they able to do enough revenue to make it worthwhile for them? As with anything, of course, location is a big factor. So you want to, if you're thinking about starting your own thing, you want to find a good location with good traffic. And consider where they are. I think they might be in a good spot, because they're at a place called Timonium Road, and this gas station more in a residential neighborhood. But this gas station is positioned on the side of the road that would be flowing towards the freeway. So morning commuters would probably come down Timonium Road on their side of the street, heading to the freeway to go to work, which tends to be the better spot for morning traffic, because you've got a lot of, if you're open up early enough in the morning, you have enough traffic so that people will see you. Maybe they would have driven by the first day and then, oh, there's a new coffee spot. Maybe the next day they'll stop by and give it a try. And since they don't have to turn left and go out of their lane of travel, it makes it a lot more conducive to actually stopping. Like I was approached by this organization one year, and they were asking me, hey, would you be interested in opening in an area here called Towson, which is a great, thriving, like, suburban urban center, the county seat of Baltimore County. And it was a tremendously central spot, just off the circle. And they were like, you're going to be next door neighbors to Shake Shack. That seems fairly reasonable. However, the problem with this look, there's two Starbuckses basically bookending this district. One has a drive-through, one is in a shopping center that doesn't have drive-through. M0, how are you, man? By a sunny beach or office park? Oh, nice. Oh, they take the car there. Kent, how are you doing today? Peter, good Dama. So they asked me to come there, and I went to go look at it, and it was a great space, centrally located. The only thing was that it's on the circle of this downtown center. Oh, and like I said, the Starbucks is, I went to those Starbucks on quite a few number of mornings, and basically all I would do is would buy a coffee, buy a pastry, sit down, and hang out for like 3 hours. And during those 3 hours, I would sit there and do customer count. Just sit there. One customer comes in, a little hashtag. A customer comes to the drive-thru, hashtag. So I was in a position where I could see it off. So essentially industrial espionage. But I wanted to see what kind of volume they were doing at these locations. And they're doing tremendous volume, like 300 transactions in an hour, between like 7 to 8. It was like, well, I was like, holy crap, man, that's what they will do in a morning will eclipse what we would do at Spro in a whole day. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, no wonder these guys are making so much money. And they had certain things that they were set up to handle that. But the thing was that this place, so in both of those locations, you could drive through and park, or you could just park. And parking at the shopping center was plentiful, and a lot of people would go through the drive-through at the other one. Now, this particular place offers free parking. However, you had to be in the circle, and then you had to get off the circle. You had to go to underground parking, park your vehicle, take an escalator up, and then you would be able to walk outside and then go around the corner to where the shop would be. And after watching what was going on at these places, at these two Starbucks, I was like, it's the parking, even though it's free, it's so far away that I don't think that people are going to be happy with that. So, all right, here's our place. So we're here at our place now. Let me just pull over. You can see here, there's an Amico gas station. So we're gonna come up here. There's the little trailer. I wonder where we can park. Okay, I'm gonna park over here. Pull in here. Oh, cute trailer. Diga Coffee Bar. See, Diga Coffee Bar. I don't know where we're gonna park over here. All right. Marcus says, I'm prepping my espresso right now, pulling a shot of Carborough beans produced by Rodrigo. Oh, excellent. Oh, Rodrigo, man. Rodrigo and I go back a long time. He's down in El Salvador, crazy. Oh, speaking of which, since you mentioned Carborough, and this is for you and for Paige, since you guys know Carborough, I don't know if you saw this. I just saw it on Scott posted a Facebook post about it yesterday. They're going to have a big cupping. It's not necessarily an open cupping. I think you have to make reservations and pay to join. But it looks like they're going to have a big cupping at Carborough Coffee in Carborough, North Carolina, which is just outside of Raleigh-Durham. On March 15th. And, Scott's got great coffees. He buys wonderful stuff. And I think if you're interested in trying new and different coffees, I think it should be quite a nice event to try coffees. So, March 15th, Carborough Coffee. You have to look at their website because they'll have like the information and however much it costs. I don't think it's going to cost. Well, I have no idea how much it's going to cost. All right, so here we are. We are here at the gas station. This gas station's been here since I was a child. And then we have our coffee bar with big ass Harbor Freight generators. Love them, love them. All right, let's see what they got. Let's see what they got here. Cold and iced espresso. Espresso and coffee. All right, we're gonna ask her. Oh, chicken Milanese. That looks pretty damn good. Bagel cream cheese. Maybe we'll get a bagel, egg and cheese in the trailer. Oh, here, breakfast. Bagel and Polish sausage. Hey there.
Hi.
Question.
Yes.
Diga is from where?
Egypt.
Oh, Egypt. Ah, gotcha. So, what coffee should I have?
So Diga is under my name.
Yes,
My name.
I read that on like I don't know,
Yeah,
Google
yeah,
Maps or
website,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, website. Yeah. So, you're from Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What coffee should I have? What's your favorite coffee?
So what I like about our coffee, it's strong coffee.
Okay.
I like lattes.
Okay,
Do you do lattes?
sure,
Do you like flavors?
sure. What would you have today?
We have the specials. They're really good. The specials. We added 2 special drinks here.
Okay. Oh, this?
Yes, the toasted marshmallow and the toffee nut. I love the toffee nut. I love it.
You love it?
Have a nutty flavor. It's so good.
Mashallah, I'll have that. Thank you. And then
You speak Arabic?
no, I just use that all the time because I spent a lot of time in Saudi Arabia.
I really?
Yeah. So,
Yeah. My dad used to work in Saudi Arabia as well. Yeah.
in oil.
No, not in oil.
I know.
He's a doctor. He used to teach in the college.
Oh, he's a smart guy. Okay, good. I didn't work in oil either, so it's all right. I just.
Because Saudi it's all about oil. But
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I also have
So you chose the toffee nut?
Yes,
Okay.
if that's what you think I should try, I will try it.
Thank you so much.
What should go with it?
Would you prefer it hot or cold?
The hot, please.
Hot.
What should I have to eat with it?
Breakfast. We have very like our eggs. So good.
Okay, so if I was having the toffee nut caramel latte, what would I eat with? What would I eat with it?
I would chose bagel, egg, and Polish sausages. It's 100% grass-fed beef Polish sausages.
That's not halal though.
It is.
Oh, it is? The
halal.
pork?
Yeah.
With
it is.
pork, really?
No, it's 100% the beef.
Oh, beef. You said beef. I'm sorry. I see sausage and I think pork. Sorry.
If you check the menu, you're gonna find the word halal beside the Polish sausages.
Oh, okay, very good. Sorry.
It's halal, we don't.
I was gonna say that's enough.
Even when we add marshmallows, it's still marshmallows halal. We don't.
Oh, is it really? What makes it not halal?
Because they do it, it's the marshmallows, they use the gelatin. And they get the gelatin from the
beef.
pork.
Oh, from the pork, okay.
So the halal ones, they get them from fish gelatin and vegetable gelatin instead of the pork.
I see,
So
okay.
that's why it's halal.
Okay.
So
Yes, I will have that too.
bagel,
then.
egg, and Polish sausage.
Perfect.
All right. You want to add cheese?
Yes. What kind of
One
cheese?
or two?
1 or 2 cheese?
1 or 2 like bagels. You want 2?
No, just one bagel.
Just
Yeah. It's only me. It's only me. I'm alone. I'm alone today, so yeah.
That's all?
Yes, that's it. That's it, please.
And you can take hazelnut croissant for something sweet after, like something sweet, like a treat. We have freshly baked hazelnut croissants.
What's it called?
Hazelnut croissant.
Oh, croissant. No, just one thing for me today. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll save that for the next time.
15.
All right. All right, so Marcus says, I'm very interested in cupping. I'll look into it. Yeah, definitely look into it. It should be good. M0 says toffee nut. Nice. A toffee nut caramel latte. Oh my gosh! How are you?
We meet
What's
over
going on?
coffee.
I know. As always, my gosh. How are things? What are you up to now?
I'm retired, happily
Right.
retired. I've just come from the gym and I stop here some days
Oh
to get
my
something.
gosh. Oh my gosh, so
So-
good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I go by the library once in a while,
Oh.
and like it's so interesting to see that all the junior librarians back then are like the managers now. It's
Great.
like holy smokes.
That's how it's supposed to work. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
I'm still doing coffee.
Oh, are you?
I do live stream about coffee every morning. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh,
And so sometimes I'll go visit like coffee places. I hope you don't mind.
No,
that
I
they're
hope
talking.
not. No. But anyway,
All right, next.
so yeah, well, I stop by here. I think
So you come here
it's
quite a
great.
bit?
A couple times a week.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's
Well,
good.
yeah, I try to support my local coffee.
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. They're very nice. She seems very nice. My first time here, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it on Google Maps, and I was like, I'm gonna come down and check it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well,
All right.
it's good to see you.
Good
Did
to-
you
good
get
to-
what you
Not
wanted?
yet. I'm still waiting. So
Oh,
but you should order so that you don't have to
Okay.
wait.
Hi, can I have a regular cafe latte?
Oh, piece Egyptian. I don't think it's Egyptian.
I
I should have asked her where it's from. Maybe I'll ask her. No Egyptian food. The closest thing, like she said, is the halal, which is the chickens, the beef sausage. Otherwise, what do we have here? We've got waffles and Polish sausage, but no Egyptian. Maybe they should do Egyptian. Maybe they should do fool. Maybe something with fool. I'll ask her. I'll ask her. They do have bagels. What'd you get today?
I got a cafe Americano, which you introduced me to.
Oh, no.
And,
I'm a bad influence like that. I'm a bad influence.
and a cafe au lait for my friend.
Oh, nice.
And a croissant.
Oh, good.
Did I get it? Oh, that was
How are the croissants? Pretty good?
pretty good.
Yeah.
Warm. I like them.
Oh, they're warm.
I don't know how they do that in there, but
Huh. Interesting.
You ready?
Oh, I've already ordered. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, where do you? Is your coffee? Where's your coffee from?
It's local roaster in Ocean City.
Oh, Ocean City. No, fool. You should do fool. You should do fool. Yeah, for breakfast, right?
Food? You mean like beans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice. Have you had that fool? Fool is like they do these beans, like kind of like refried beans, but like in a Middle Eastern way.
These slow cook the beans overnight.
oh,
Then this is the base. Then you use it like you make it mix it maybe with vegetables, maybe with olive oil, sugar.
It's very good.
it sounds
Very
weird.
No, it's really delicious. Like when I was in the Middle East, I used to go. For 5 years, I was in the Middle East a lot. And
So this
it's
guy ordered.
super. Oh yeah,
I want them to get as much business.
absolutely.
I was out west.
Hey, how you doing?
In Colorado, and then
Can I
out
get a
west
12
they have
ounce
these
Americano?
Okay.
And
little
then-
trailers, like
pardon?
all over the
Hot,
place
please.
in the,
And a
parking lots.
A
and
cream,
stuff.
please, and a bagel,
I
egg and
drove
cheese.
by here one day and I saw this and I said, I've got to start patronizing because that's what I want. I don't want to have to go to Starbucks. So
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a Starbucks app that I use, but it's very convenient, you know.
You know, they had that free coffee after Super Bowl at Starbucks. If you use the app, so I went to use my
Use
app.
the restroom,
I
I'll be
haven't
right
used it in
back.
So
Thank
long,
you.
they canceled my account. And I was like, what happened?
I know, you
So
do have to
terrible.
keep it updated.
How long have they been?
See, I've been coming maybe since the fall.
Oh, the fall. Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited. Like I was looking at Google Maps and I was like, there's a coffee with tutorials. What?
Yeah. So I go to the gym and I feel like I could come here afterwards.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I did 2 classes today.
Oh, okay. What classes?
Water aerobics.
Oh, so you get in the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Rick?
At
The old
the
map?
other one, yeah,
Okay.
Coppermine, it's now called.
Oh, Coppermine,
I've been
okay.
through 3 names with
Oh,
them.
no. Is it worth it?
Yeah, it makes me get at it. If I just sat at home, if I was at home, I could go walking, but I won't. So
Gotcha.
if I have somebody up here waiting for me,
Oh, that's true. That's true. Like,
and they make you sign up, and if you don't come, you have to pay $15.
Oh.
So I sign up, so I'll come.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I have a treadmill at home. I haven't used it.
I finally threw away my Nordic track.
Mine is not fancy enough to be Nordic track. It's not fancy at all.
That's your coffee, the black one.
Thank you.
Yeah, too bad there's no Egyptian food or Egyptian coffee, but they do have bagels. We're gonna have a bagel. Paige says I'm having one of my lovely sourdough bagels right now. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. We have a whole group of friends that come every morning and join us. So there's always an ongoing conversation. Deb, good morning to you. Mom as well. It's a great way to be. Paige says it's a great way to be accountable for fitness.
Oh.
On your stories.
Bagel, egg, and Polish sausages.
Thank you.
I don't, at the Coppermine, the only coffee they have is K-Cups.
Oh, yeah.
They used to have coffee and I would get it there, but now I'm not doing K-Cups.
Yeah, K-cups are a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Shall we say? I'm gonna put this in my pocket so it stays warm.
What kind of coffee are you getting?
When I go to coffee shops, I usually ask the barista, what they like, and then I'll take whatever they tell me. Because otherwise I would never try it. Like she's giving me the toffee nut caramel. Like,
oh yeah.
I honestly would never choose that. I'm like, I was like, all right.
I'm a black person.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I would have, but I was like, why not try something different?
Yeah.
Plus, it gives us more talking points. Dylan's Home Espresso Bar says, I wonder if they have to pay a fee for the gas station. I would presume that they do for, at least courtesy, but I'm sure that the owners here would want to have something for the land space.
So are you going anywhere interesting now?
No, I haven't been traveling much this last 2 years. I've kind of slowed down on that, and I don't miss it. I mean, I miss it, but I don't. It's not like I feel itchy to go. Like every time I've had trips coming up, I was like, I found a way to cancel them. I was like, I don't want to go anymore. That was in my youth. Waiting for the drink now. I'm getting a toffee nut caramel latte, which I don't know what toffee nut means. They're using a Nova Simonelli one group. You can kind of see it there with an Enfim type of grinder. So fairly good equipment. Toffee nut, excellent. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right.
So good to see you. Glad you're doing well.
Thank you. You too. I'm glad to see you. All right, see you next time. All right, so we got our stuff. It's on YouTube.
Oh, you too?
It's onocoffee. O-N-O coffee. All right.
Oh, look it up.
All right, look it up. Okay, so here we go. We got a drink. Look at how pretty it looks in the camera. I mean, the sky, the color. I'm kind of surprised it looks so nice. All right, so we got our coffee, toffee nut caramel latte, and we have a bagel that has beef Portuguese sausage, Polish sausage, not Portuguese sausage, Polish sausage with egg, cheese, and bagel. Let me grab the other stuff here. Okay. Egg sandwich. Paige says, I think toffee has usually a bit of caramel and almond or hazelnutty flavor from what I can tell. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so let's have a look at our cup. They've got their logo on the sleeve. Looks like it's a stamp, although it kind of looks like one of those things that could be printed to look like a stamp. 16-ounce drink, kind of big. I think she told me it was $15. I was like, $15? The sandwich is only $5. How much is this drink? $10? I guess I'm going to have to see on my receipt. So they have a little bit of drizzle of caramel. So there, it looks like, from what little I could see, looks like they probably had so if we're basing toffee nut, so probably some kind of toffee hazelnut syrup into the cup, then the shot, then the steam milk, and then a drizzle of caramel on top. And that's what those lines are. The texture of the milk looks fairly nice, right? A little bit thicker, but at least it looks well steamed and well textured. It's good. It is what I find to be typical in coffee shops, meaning that good amount of syrup, so it's pretty sweet overall. But I can taste, the underlying coffee. Seems a little bit harsh and roasty. I'm not sure who she said. The guy said that they use a roaster in Ocean City, Maryland, and I'm not too familiar with who's roasting in Ocean City, but I would really have to see the regular coffee to have a better insight. So here's our bagel. Paige says, my issue with drinks that big is that it only has a double shot and it's way too... Yeah, that's... But I get why they do it that way, because most of their customers, I'm sure, are used to and buy 16-ounce drinks. That's probably the most popular size. So here is the bagel. What I'm interested to know is, they're execute on the photos that... Okay, so on the photos... Okay. On the photos... And if you can scroll back, you can see them. It looks like on the photos that they're using a fried egg, which I like. I really don't like scrambled egg sandwiches. And of course, I was curious. I see a picture. I wonder how they're executing fried eggs in a trailer setting. But it is scrambled eggs. And I just lost one of my sausages, son of a gun. It's now wedged between the seat, getting dirty. I will eat that. So a little bit disappointing there. I'm looking at the way that it's heated through. I'm thinking it looks microwaved. right? Especially since the bun, the the bagel has more of a bun texture. Kent, thank you very much, man. That's very kind. Yeah, so there's the. Now it is folded over, right? The egg is folded over, so I don't know exactly how they're executing it. I couldn't really see if they had a griddle or something, but now I'm not up to date on modern like cooking technology, but typically, well, if we look at the egg itself, maybe they spread it out and cooked it. It could have been microwave flat, and then, but then the sausage does have some caramelization, so that would not happen typically in. So the bagel is chewy. Shredded cheddar. But the thing is, when you have these kinds of sandwiches, it's like there's a lot of compromise, right? Like it's okay, right? It's I gotta say it would be a perfunctory sandwich, like it. It serves the purpose, right? If you want to have a sandwich that's going to be breakfast sandwich with bagel, egg, cheese, and sausage, it's going to do the job. But it's not going to be something that you're like, I'm going to go drive out there and go pick up some more. Like, yeah, this is definitely. It's maybe a little bit better than like a convenience store breakfast sandwich, but it's not really that much better. Like it's relative for what it is. It's relatively bland. I mean, nice people, but there's. This is where I think the sourcing of your ingredients really comes in, right? But sometimes when things like this, I kind of wonder, like, if the operators actually taste their menu items. Like my friends who run restaurants, they'll sit down routinely, and I've joined them, and have meals at the restaurant because they want to make sure that everything is solid. And this is not bad. It's just not great. Which I think is a shame. It's a shame. It could be a lot. It could be a really great. M0 says after a fell, saying, "Oh, don't eat it. It's clean, right? It's clean. It's clean. It's clean enough, huh? Oh, there's a little bit of lid. Okay, maybe we won't eat that. Paige says air fryer toaster would be better than a microwave. I mean, and that I hear you, and that's the thing you have to have to balance is like the timing of your production, right? So if you were to use an air fryer, for example, or perhaps an impinger oven, like one of those Turbo Chef type ovens, when those are basically they're multifunction microwave convection type ovens that can do really amazing stuff in very short time, and that's pretty much what you see at Starbucks. Those types of ovens. They're also very expensive, so and heavily power dependent. So if you're only running on a generator in a small space, I get why you can't. I get why that becomes a very difficult proposition. Microwaves can be very cheap and very easy to operate, and also very low power draw comparatively. But the product is never that still. Like here's an interesting. Like I have a microwave at home. I've never had a microwave in any of our kitchens. So the kitchens at Spro, the kitchens at the roastery, I never put a microwave in there. And there was a time when I'm going to put a microwave in because I wanted to make something called milk skin, where you take the milk and you basically scald it under microwave, and then you cool it down and you can skim the milk. It creates a milk skin that you can use for componentry and other stuff. But I never really got around. It's a technique I learned from Juan Marie Arzac in San Sebastian, Spain, and it's not something that I'd ever found a way to really incorporate into our menu. Mainly because I do not have a brilliant mind as Juan Marie. So yeah, there it is. But I understand why people do it, but I just don't think it doesn't yield a really tremendous product. Like, this is not tremendous. Like, it's $5, so it's not bad for the price. But I spent $15. How did a $5 sandwich, maybe the cheese added like $1 or $2, and then how much was this? I wasn't even paying attention to the menu like that much, price-wise. But I think for $15, it should be really awesome. M0 says, I'm not prospecting you or anyone else, but I have a business all planned out involving mobile unit and coffee with classified per day and per the client whiskey. Oh, no. Oh. Dev says Turbo Chefs today. Yeah, I love the Turbo Chefs. I remember when I first had a demo, like maybe like 20 some years ago. When Turbo Chef first came out, they brought us down to their test kitchen, and they were like, well, we can show you some stuff. All right, show me some stuff. And one of the coolest things he took this, I don't know why I thought it was cool, but I thought it was cool. He took a frozen, like, New York strip. And it was frozen, like kind of frozen. And he put it in this Turbo Chef, and within, like, I forgot how long, but it was an incredibly short amount of time. Like maybe 2-3 minutes. He had a nice medium rare or medium pink interior steak, and I was like, wow, and with caramelization on the exterior, I was like, well, that's pretty incredible. Like, that's pretty impressive. $4,000 so I can make steak. Paige says coffee drinks are overpriced and then add on the tip. I mean, I really should be the last person complaining about price, because I don't charge a small amount for our coffee as well. But I was just surprised when she said 15. I was like, 15? Holy smokes. I don't know, Dev, do you recall? No, that was before tip, Peter. Dev, do you recall what you guys would charge for something like this at your shop? Presuming 2 different flavors of syrups, caramel drizzle. Like at Spro, we couldn't even make this. We had the caramel drizzle, but the only flavors of syrups we ever had was, typically, we would have other flavors depending on the time of year, but we would typically have vanilla. What we have? Vanilla, chocolate, and caramel sauce. So we would actually, and all of which we make in-house. So we make the vanilla in-house. And I was getting beans from outfit out in Kauai, in Hawaii. So we would make the vanilla. We would make chocolate ganache and use that as our base for our mochas, and then we would also make the caramel sauce. So the baristas would make all the syrups. That would make the vanilla and the ganache. We taught them how to make that, but the kitchen would make the chocolate sauce because you had to heat it and do all this stuff to it. So I didn't want to burden the baristas that much. So the kitchen had time. Has always had extra time to make caramel sauce. Peter says, wow, don't think I can afford the U.S. You know what? We can't afford the U.S. Like America, as people here like to say, freedom isn't free. It costs a hell of a lot of money. And it's getting more expensive. Gas is at an all-time high. Eggs are at an all-time high. Medicare is at an all-time high. Education is at an all-time low. And meanwhile, I have to be worried about whether or not this transgender person is going to come down and gun me down at the local mall, which has yet to happen, or perhaps rape my child. I mean, combined together, not bad. I've had far worse. Like I would be interested to come back and try maybe black coffee and the croissant. See how they execute that. And one thing that I also keep in mind is that, like at Spro, we did things a particular way. Most of it in-house. Which means that you have a whole different level of control than you would if you were working with vendors. So I never try to come into places like this with the idea that it should be equivalent or better than what we were doing, because everyone's in a different situation, and this would be a situation where they're not going to have the same kind of controls or just the same kind of facility, right? The tiny facility here versus a larger facility for us, and then even larger for many other companies. So I think you have to always take that into account as well. It's like, and not come at it with like too much of your own prejudice, which is what I try to do, is not come at it with like, how would I do it or how I think it should be done, but more like just to try to understand and accept how the situation that any operator is in, and because every operator has to work within their own constraints, right? And even everyone has that. There's, like I said, like there's people like Juan Marie Arzak, who's this amazing chef in Spain, incredible talent. I can't do what he does because I don't have that level of talent. It's like I just don't. It's like, okay. So I think it's just something to consider. Dev says ours is around $7 for a 16 ounce. Okay, so $7. Well, then maybe they're commensurate with that, because $7. Let's say $7, $5 for the sandwich. And since she asked me if I wanted cheese, we're presuming that there's going to be that's an add-on instead of included. And I didn't really pay attention to like whether or not that was really part of the breakfast sandwich or not. So let's say they add $2 for that. So 5, 7, 12, 14. So somewhere around there. So their drink had to be a little bit more expensive than 7. Like, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not what I would choose to order, but it's the flavors are pleasant. Toffee, nuts, whatever, hazelnut probably. Good temperature. The milk is nicely steamed. Now the one criticism I did have initially was the service, right? Not the service itself, but like she's very nice. Diga's very nice, but it's just one of the things and this is maybe going back to where I just told you that we should try not to imprint our own methods onto everyone else, but this is the one where I do think that it's important, and something that I was very like, always push with our staff at Spro is that we have to get timing right. Timing is super important. So if you remember, we're standing outside, it's cold, and I ordered 2 items, and ostensibly you'd think that the food would take longer than the drinks. But the food came first, after a little bit of a wait. And I guess the wait is more exacerbated because even though I'm talking with an old friend, it's cold. So you're like, oh man, how long am I going to sit out here, right? So she gives me the sandwich, which I put into my jacket because I was concerned that, okay, I've been sitting here for a few moments. I'm waiting for the coffee. So evidently, she gave me the sandwich, and the other guy didn't start the drink until I got the sandwich. And it's like, you got a smaller capacity machine, and it's going to take, which means it takes you longer to produce a drink. And to me, right, like we would ask people at Spro, would you like your drink right away? Or would you prefer to wait? Or would you be okay with waiting until your food is ready? Because we want them to come together, right? I believe that, you're ordering something, so you want it all to come together so the people can enjoy it all together. And more importantly, if you're if there's a group, right? So typically, if you have a group of friends that are eating together, and let's say they order at the same time, like at a table with table service, they order at the same time. The server takes all their orders and puts it in. But if they're together, but they're separate at a coffee shop, they'll come up to the register, order. The next person orders. The next person orders. We want our staff to be cognizant that these people are together, and communicate that to the rest of the staff that, okay, these tickets are together. We need them to come together, and so everybody works on timing to deliver the food and the drinks all together. Because, and whether it's like whether you have 3 people that are together and one person gets their entire order and then the next person's waiting while they're all at the same table, there's that bit of awkwardness. There's that bit of, should I eat? Should I not eat? No, go ahead, go and eat. Don't worry. Or you're like, or that whole thing, right? I want to mitigate that as much as possible. So it's important to me that we have service where food and drink come together, and if they're in a larger group, all their stuff comes together so that they can spend that time. My thing is that I want people to focus on the center of the table, right? Amongst themselves. Like if we're together, I want us to be focused on our discussion, on enjoying our time, not to be sitting there talking, listening, but also in the back of your mind wondering, where's my food? Where's my drink? What's taking so long? Why did I get my food? Where's my drink? Why am I waiting longer? I think that staff should have a time so that everything comes together. And that was my real critique at the outset. I was like, well, why am I waiting? Especially since we're outside in the cold. We're talking about a hot meal, hot food, that if I'm going to hold it exposed to the elements, it's going to be dying. It's literally dying in my hands, right? So that's why I put it in the jacket, because I figured it would take a few moments. But I mean, the execution of the drink, as far as like milk texture and stuff like that, nicely done. I think they use like a Hershey's caramel sauce drizzle. Peter says we have free healthcare and education. We have free education up until 12th grade. And then after that, you must pay. But there are people here in the United States that are like, well, why are you giving free education to those people and I have to pay my kids' private school tuition? I should have credits for that and I should have reimbursement. And it's like, it's a choice to go. And don't get me wrong. I am a victim of private prep school education. But I have, I'm like, and my niece and nephew go to private school. A lot of my family and friends' kids go to private school. Went to private school. It's a choice. You can choose that. Just because you don't want to send your kids to the public school doesn't mean that you should get reimbursement for that. I think that's it's for the greater good of people Anyway. Page says, we're at a massive stagflation stage for citizens. The wealth class gap is worse than France in the 1790s. I mean, and it's amazing that people don't really realize that. But you know what? One of my friend's mothers, who I really love, she's welcomed me at their house for meals, but she is so like, she just, we finally got to the point where in our conversations on Facebook where she was like, basically she said that she didn't know the issues, she didn't care, and she was proud that she didn't know. And I was like, what? You are, who espouses Christian values and following Christ, goes like this? I was like, this is very odd. To me, it's very odd. Dev says, plus tax. Yeah, plus tax. Oh, no, 15 included the tax. But not the tip. M0 says, operating constraints, tell me about it. Got into it with the state and NGO advisors about fielding forward teams regarding healthcare. Oh, yeah, we are not in a good spot. Paige says, I just looked at Diga's coffee online menu and the specialty drinks are $7.50. Oh, okay, there we go. Extra syrup drizzle is $1. Oh, that would make sense, $8.50. Paige says, I was lucky to have a pretty fantastic public education and was lucky to go to STEM high school. That's amazing. That's amazing. I wish we could provide better quality education across the board for people. Like where we are now in this area, this region where I live, schools are very good. Very, very good. Other parts of the Baltimore region, not so good. And there's so many factors involved. And here's the interesting, years ago, like maybe 20, 25 years ago, I used to smoke cigars with this guy that worked for the Baltimore City Public Schools. And I was a lot younger then, and I was like, dude, how is it that you can pass kids that show no proficiency? And he's like, well, let me break it down for you really simply. And I was all right. In a nutshell, he told me that at the time, they had 85,000 students in the school system. And so every year there's 85,000 students, 10,000 of which graduate, and another 10,000 come into the system. So from like 1st to 12, there's 85,000 students, 10,000 graduate, 10,000 enter the system. And he was like, the hard reality is that if we held back the students that needed to be held back, he said, we're already at more than capacity. We would not be able to handle it. Like it would just overflow the system. So and I was like, holy man. I said, oh, that's a great point. Like, but I just wonder, like, our system of operating in the United States is very much like, we like to talk about Christian values and Christ and all that, but we don't really want to live by his teachings. It's a very, very odd thing. M0 says, I like Paige and she's right. I hear you. We do have a good little group. I do enjoy you guys talking to you guys every day. Anton says the main. I don't know what that means. Anton, how are you, man? Oh, Paige, I don't know if you had joined us by the time I said this earlier, but I saw yesterday on Scott Connery's Facebook page or Facebook post, he mentioned that there's going to be a coffee tasting event on March 15th at Carborough Coffee. So if you're interested, that might be something for you to check out. It's a paid event. We had to make reservations. So if you're interested in going, you should go do that. At least make the reservation soon. M0 says, honestly, Bastille Day wasn't just about France. French people were upset about what their monarchy was doing abroad as well. America and British holdouts turned on the French completely. So does that mean? Now I'm curious. Like, and I don't know the history on this part of it, but so France helped the colonists in their campaign to fight against the crown of the United Kingdom, or British. I don't know. Were they called the United Kingdom back then? I don't know. So I wonder, in France, were people upset that they were supporting the colonists here in America? I'm curious. Like here in America, we have we have a segment of people that are very upset that that the previous presidential administration supported the Ukraine effort to repel Russian invaders. Our new administration is all about repelling Ukraine from Ukraine. I think it seems like, but I wonder if how much of the France population then were against their government helping America. And were they even more outraged when they sent us, like, the statues, like the Liberty, M0 said, did it first in Canada, then New York, right on down to Louisiana. Oh, okay. Paige says, I feel like we're heading for such a thing here. I mean, I don't, people like to talk about getting out of things, but I don't know. I don't know in the history of humankind if there was ever a time when such disparity existed that disparity was not corrected without violent revolution. I don't think there's been a time, really. And I don't even know if during those violent revolutions, whether that really brought change for the people that needed it the most. I don't know. Kent says properly funded schools is a no-brainer in terms of reward for society. Yes, but Kent, you're from Scandinavia. You understand that. The idea of, like, society benefiting society is kind of, from my understanding, that's kind of in your blood, that's in your veins, that's in your whole, like, DNA of your society. Here in America, it's not like that here. We like to talk like that, but we're not like that. It's all about, if somebody's struggling and poor and have no advantages and no opportunity, there's a lot of people out here that just want to tell them, hey, bootstrap yourself. With what? I mean, it's interesting to see, like, here in America, they're, like, trying to do all these, they're trying to roll back all these programs, and it's like, you see people talk about this, like, women especially, white Republican women. Well, I didn't think it was going to affect me. The DEI thing. Yeah, you're a DEI hire. The whole idea of diversity, equity, and inclusivity is to bring about equality for people. Like, I think we forget that it's not even been 100 years since women had to fight for their right to vote. Within our lifetimes, women could not have their own bank account at a bank without a man. Like, I just learned that, like, last year, and I was, like, blown away. I was like, what, 1974? They finally abolished that? It's like, what? I mean, it's like, but this is where, like, to Kent's point, this is where education, this is why you don't want to give good education in the United States. Because if you need to exploit the people, and they're not educated, and you can get to a point where they revel and are proud of their ignorance, what's to stop you? Right? Anton says, is it Moyne or is it Maine? Moyne is basically like a shortened version of Morgan. Moyne. Oh, Moyne. Oh, yeah, morning. Good morning. Sorry, I thought it said Maine. I thought, like, Frankfurt am Main, Maine, right? I was like, sorry. My eyesight is getting bad. Paige says our new regime. Well, yeah, that's probably a good way. It needs to be removed. Malcolm says, very cool that you have been gone to a STEM school. Mind if I ask you what you end up doing for a living? Paige says, I didn't go into science like I wanted to. Ended up in state government. I'm a court worker for child support. Oh, that's good work. I have some friends that do that here. Difficult work. Then I have a friend that's also a prosecutor. And I'm just like, and I don't know what to think about that sometimes. Like, who are you prosecuting? Why do you want to send them down? Paige says, I can't believe the leper. Oh, yeah, no doubt. So I'm still drinking the coffee. The base coffee is a little bit harsh, I think. I will have to come back on another opportunity to try the base coffee. Like just get the black coffee, maybe get that croissant. But I like this woman. She's like all upselling. She's all like, I'm like ordering the bagel, and she's like, "Do you want two?" It's like, two? Do I look like I need to have two? Do I look so famished now that I've been like losing weight that I need to like bulk up again? And then she's like, "Do you want the croissant?" I was like, "Croissant? Man, trying to make my bill $25." Which I have to give respect to. Like we're always trying to find ways to encourage staff to push more items. Paige says it's a lot of work, but I get to be home part of the time, and I'm in a court 5 times. Oh, that's good. Only a couple of times a month. That's great. 5-6 times a month. That's great. I'm prepping for 3 courts next week. You know, actually, speaking of courts, I've got to. On Wednesday, we will not be having a live stream next week because I have to report to the court for jury duty. And I was planning on doing a trip starting on Thursday. So I was like, oh man, this is poor timing. So we're going to have to see about that. We're going to have to see. Paige says, usually I have 150 plus hearings in those 5 to 6. Wow, really? Like 50 hearings a day? Is there even enough time for that? That's amazing. That sounds like a hellacious workload. Sounds like you do need the coffee. All right, so I guess that's going to be it for today. We went here to Diga Coffee Bar Trailer in Timonium, Maryland, on Timonium Road, 40 West Timonium Road, in case you happen to be in the area, you want to check it out. Seems like an interesting spot to explore more. Some things I thought could be better, like bagel sandwich, it's okay. Coffee, it's okay. If you like sweetened, flavored, like lattes, you'll probably love it. Since I'm not a big person in that, it's just okay, right? Dev says, haven't been called to jury duty in 5+ years. I mean, I haven't been called in over 10, so I guess I shouldn't complain. But I'm like, what bad timing. Monday, I have 57 on the docket. Says, Paige, holy smokes. You must be blowing through it. Be like, guilty, guilty, guilty. That's my friend, the prosecutor. Guilty, guilty. She's just slaughtering people. I'm just like, good Lord, what is wrong with you? M0 says, America has always hated the ethno-Europeans, didn't like the French, didn't like the Italians, didn't like the Spanish, didn't like the Polish. You know, it's interesting you say that because, like, one of my friends, he's Italian-American, and he's all about Trump. He's always been all about Trump. And he said, yeah, I'm a white guy. And I'm like, dude, our other friend, he's a white guy. You are not. And our friend's like, yeah, it's true. Because our other friend is Scottish, right? So he's like, yeah, I would get into the KKK. You would not get into KKK with your Italianness. I was like, see? All right, Dave, have a great one too. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Always good to hang out with you. Back again on, today's Friday, right? It's back again on Monday for another coffee Q&A. So have a great weekend. Hope you have a wonderful time. And see you then.